And this vision of beauty over here is Rachel. We're talking with famous people, and today I'm asking the provocative question: is Jordan Peterson right? Are chores the real answer?
Oh my god, no.
Is it really the case that what I need to do in life is to clean my room? Maybe. Let's find out. So, I'm watching currently some soccer in the background. But I know there are some chores that I need to do. Number one chore I need to do is change the cat box. Clean up the cat litter. It's been a while. Hi, that boy, Klaus. Hi, temporal teleporter. Now that I got you up on the screen, I can see you. All right. So in general, I'm going to agree, that boy Klaus, with chores schmores. But I will admit that I'm feeling a little depressed lately or today. Probably it's just part of the whole Adderall cycle, you know. It's just how it goes. But in theory, it could link to the fact that I'm being very lazy and avoidant and not doing shit that I should do, like clean up and stuff. I don't know. Jordan Peterson, I'm going to make you proud of me today. I'm going to clean my room. Okay, maybe not my room, but I'm going to clean a couple of things. Oh, God. First, I'm going to deal with this horrible cat box. Do this. It's been a while since I've done a full reset. Might as well do a good job for once. Alright, here we go. There. Alright, now I'm going to start from scratch. More cat litter next time. Unless I got another box around somewhere, which I might, but I'm not sure where it would be. That's fine for now. Alright, good job, Eric. You did it well, you did it wisely. Now let's put these mess away. Wrap this up like now. Put it where it goes. Wrap this up like that. And put it where it goes. Put this onto here, yeah, see. All right, good job, Eric. Now, what's next? on the good job Eric list. Let's go take a break. Done a couple of chores. We've accomplished a couple of things. Let's go take a break.
Good job, Eric, indeed.
Thanks. Maybe I will wash my hands first. So, nice to see you, Winston's mom. Nice to see you, Temporal Teleporter. Nice to see you, Death Boy Klaus. I was considering titling this stream The Rise of Cruddy People. Because it is the case that with the transition to vertical streaming and the changing demographics of the viewership, that streaming is less reliably pleasant these days. And sometimes predictably unpleasant, you know what I'd say. Okay, meow. So one of the chores, I guess, is watch the cat eat. I haven't really watched him eat in a while. I'm kind of broken with the habit. He just gets started and then I walk away usually. But I guess I could be particularly accommodating today. I feel sad that, you know, the other night when Rachel was streaming, she didn't necessarily have the best experience because there were some cruddy people around, you know.
Yeah, but it helps learn what negging is. And like,
I mean, that concerns me that you weren't like already aware of that sort of stuff more.
no, fucking no.
Yeah, so
I didn't know that pickup artist stuff was being done to like young ladies.
including you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking.
But you're
I
married.
just thought you'd be an asshole, you know. So I don't play into that. You get timed out, like.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that it doesn't stick with me.
Right, exactly. I don't want you to have experiences that are overly negative. The negative stuff sticks with you more than the positive, for sure, you know?
Yeah.
And makes me, you know, question the wisdom of live streaming and stuff.
I still think that live streaming is fun.
I do too. But that's weird, Winston Mom. I did not live stream earlier today. This is the first stream of the day. I'm glad to hear that, Winston's Mom.
Thank you, Winston's mom. I appreciate that. You know, like, you know, I'll say comments back like, you know, like someone said, like, you plucked out all your eyebrows, you need to fix them. And I just commented back like, oh, I'm sure that your mom did your eyebrows too. Like, you know, like stuff like that. Like,
people are dicks. Like,
I know, right?
Sun Digest 11 asks, why are you old? Well, because I've lived a long time. You know? Well, Rachel and I are planning on going for a walk later. Look at the stars. Hi, Maria Zebra 73. Doing better than I was earlier. Doing better than I was yesterday. You know, I'm in that part of the Adderall cycle that that is a bit of a downer. Sometimes can link to feeling kind of sad or you know, whatever you want to call it. Give some more OG advice. I know I look a little tired. I am a little tired still. I haven't slept all the way up from the Adderall cycle, you know. I've been getting lots of rest. The thing is, I've been sleeping my ass off, you know. But I'm not sleeping right now. I slept from like, I don't know, midnight last night till 4 in the afternoon or something. I had a crazy amount of sleep. So I'm not worried about not sleeping enough at the moment. But you have to make up the sleep deficit regardless. So the fact that I was underslept for a couple of weeks, it takes a while to catch up, even if you can't try to catch up in bulk. Yeah, well, I mean, I got up plenty of times, just didn't stay up. I got up to pee and got up, ate a couple bites of things or whatever. Took a couple more gabapentins, those always put me to sleep.
I'm watching you, Trouble. Just leave your sister alone.
Yeah, I don't have any Adderall at the moment, Maria. And I'm glad I don't. I don't want any Adderall at the moment. But, I'm just talking about subjectivities, right? So, I'm not looking for a solution or anything. I understand well the situation. Well, your son being very aggressive probably didn't have anything to do with the Adderall, Maria. I've been on it for years. It's never made me aggressive. But goose sleep. Okay, Steven Sanchez. Goose sleep. So anyway, right now I am streaming for a couple of reasons. One, because it helps us feel connected to the outside world and other people when we engage in some interneting. And when one is feeling down, then one is inclined towards engaging more. Well, that might be the case for your son particularly, but it's not the case in general. It's not a side effect of Adderall. So, I mean, the aggressiveness is there without the drugs. He's just suppressing it better without the drugs, right? Whereas I'm not an aggressive person, so it's not going to show up like that for me. It's unwise and kind of dangerous to ascribe things to drugs that don't actually link to that drug, that link to something else, because then you can confuse people and make them want to blame their own bad behavior on something else. Life goes by fast. Save your soul. Do God's will. Life does go by fast. And that is one of the things that causes, I don't know, periods of philosophical meowing, like now. Realization that you have a limited amount of time and a sense that you ought to do certain things during that time, be productive in certain ways. How are you doing today, Bestie? Says Ayayona Keeper. I'm doing fine. And Steven Sanchez says, I've taken gabapentin and without it I don't sleep well. Gabapentin helps me sleep, sure. Ryan Friesen says, I'm the epitome of beauty. I am not the epitome of beauty, but thank you. And Ryan Friesen also says, Mr. Herdman. He might have meant beard. I'm not sure. My wife, though, is the epitome of beauty.
Oh, you're sweet. Thank you.
CC&V, what is your channel about? At the moment, it's about existential meowings, which is to say, how to feel in this moment, in this crazy mixed up world of ours. It feels like everything's changing all the time while nothing's changing at all. As far as Kratom, I've done it a couple times, but I've not liked it. I don't know if you're going to like it or not. All right, on the chore list. Remember, we're following Jordan Peterson's advice today, and we're doing some chores. We're cleaning our room. I've got this to clean. things that tend to make me feel reliably a little bit better when I'm feeling like depressed or down or whatever. One thing that always makes me feel better is just talking to Rachel. Rachel and I can sometimes go fairly long stretches of time without really talking to each other. Both being absorbed in our respective media and such. But when we do chat, it's always nice and reassuring, you know. We love each other a lot, and we're also not very sensory people, so. Another thing that tends to make me feel better when I'm not feeling very happy or whatever is to go outside, even if just to walk around the house or something. That helps me feel a little bit more connected with the world. I also find that certain television shows are very comfort food, kind of relaxing to me, such as Naked and Afraid in particular, but only some episodes, not all episodes. The thing is, historically, I've never been one to particularly deal with my subjectivities like this overtly. It is my blind spot. I'm not naturally good at understanding things through a lens of my feelings. But it's also important to remember that my feelings are almost entirely, I'm sure, linked to Adderall cycle rather than anything else. Just I'm in that spot. You smoke fentanyl every day? Well, I would advise you not to do that, but I understand it's very difficult to quit that. I know somebody who basically died from doing that and had to be brought back to life. So I would advise against it. A lot of people die from that stuff, you know. I'm not in favor of drug scare shit, but that one seems a little bit more legitimate than most. So I made a start on cleaning that pan. And that's a good start. We're gonna let that soak a little bit before we finish cleaning it. I mean that pot. Hi, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Jesus still in control, my guy. That's why even though everything is crazy, things still headed in a direction. You know, that's not a terrible frame of reference to get celestial in understanding things. It's a frame of reference I have available to me that I don't necessarily well, I don't know if that's really true or not, Mr. Small. It's true that we probably had more intercourse earlier in our relationship, but it really seems to go in kind of phases. There are periods of time where we have frequently, periods of time where we have it infrequently. We had intercourse like 2 days ago. Yeah. So we do still have intercourse fairly often.
Yeah, we do. As long as you're happy.
I'm happy.
I'm happy too.
I do. Signum crucius. I do. And that's one frame of reference through which one can interpret all this stuff, but not the frame of reference I'm interpreting it through right now. So Temporal Teleporter says of Kratom, yes, I use it daily. It helped me get away from opioids. I'd say if you haven't done opioids or have a problem with it, don't use it or in moderation. I heard it's addictive, but for me it's better. It's a better alternative. Huh. Well, yeah, I did it once, twice. I've never been into opioids, but I didn't like it very much. Watch out, Rachel. Trouble's gonna get your.
Thank you. Would you like a potato?
I'm good because I finished your sandwich.
Okay. I'm glad. I don't mind. Should I mind?
No, you should probably throw away those other leftovers. I think those are too old now.
Oh yeah.
At a certain point, it becomes obvious you're not going to eat the leftovers, so then I just eat it.
What?
So at a certain point, it becomes obvious that you're not going to eat the leftovers, so I just eat it.
Yeah. If it's like a full day after, I mean, I guess, yeah.
You basically never eat it.
Yeah. If I don't eat it like
Right away, right? If you don't eat it like a couple hours later.
That night.
Yeah, exactly. So, we are, as Rachel and I were discussing earlier, we are very isolated back here. It's wonderful in its own way, and it's also presents its own kinds of challenges. If we lived in town, we'd probably walk down, get ice cream, get coffee, or whatever, and feel more involved in the community and stuff. But everything's a bit of a double-edged sword. We kind of live in this pinnacle of comfort house where it's like this house could not be any more comfortable and easy to live in and a great place to be. Just walk around outside and it's just nature and wonderful. We'll go walk around outside right now. Ooh, close. Uruguay is still trying to tie it up against Colombia, who is down to 10 men in the soccer game I'm watching. One of their players got 2 yellow cards in the first half. So, I try to come outside and walk around a bit more than when I'm feeling down or whatever, because it reminds me, like, I don't know, some quality of being in the moment implicit in standing outside with all these trees and such, Rachel and I saw such strange activity the other night when we went outside and looked at the night sky. We saw this thing that we definitely couldn't easily explain. Which was, there were 2 lights that looked like they were on the end of like a pole. It was like diagonal in the sky, so you couldn't see the pole, you could just see the 2 lights. This one was dimmer and this one was brighter. And they moved in coordination with each other all the time. They didn't move that much. They moved in coordination. It could have been like 2 drones coordinated to move together, but they didn't have the typical drone 3 pattern light on it. So I don't know. I don't know what it was. We also saw a satellite, shooting star. Lots to see in the night sky up here. Not much light pollution. And the hill looks lovely with all these puff balls and the dappled afternoon sunlight. It's not really that hot right now either. Look at my healthy plants growing, and it makes me happy. I used to live with roommates and nobody did chores, so when things got horrible, one person would just break down and clean everything. I used to clean up after the adults who were older than me, actually. Well, I think Jordan Peterson's not wrong when you're feeling down. When you're feeling down, there's something worthwhile by just making yourself get up and do some cleaning kind of chores, you know, or some other kind of chore. Like I need to move these cans of gasoline from here where I parked over to the garage. It's a chore I could do potentially, like right now. I could do that chore. That'd be something worth doing that I could complete. So let's go inside. Let's pull a preparatory bong rip, and then we'll go do that chore. We're going to get Jordan Peterson points tonight. I'm going to earn some Jordan Peterson points. Football is like a big dandelion. We have regular dandelions too that are smaller than that, but hi Gizmo's Graffiti. And thanks Rakesh Sharma. Appreciate your encouraging others to like the video. So, let's push the soccer game back on. I prefer to watch the soccer game at 1.5 speed. Seems to move a little more quickly. Alright, so let's pull a little bit of a bong rip, and then we'll go move those gas cans, and we'll feel like, hey, we're really accomplishing stuff today. There's also a well, I mean, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm feeling kind of depressed right now. Here I am. Mostly because just of the Adderall cycle, but I'm getting myself to do chores to feel better. And it doesn't hurt, you know. Believe me, I'm no Jordan Peterson disciple, but what I'm saying is, for somebody like me who tends to undercare about the sensory aspects of things, being more sensory in my behavior helps me to feel more grounded and less like a loser, you know. I look like Michael Richards, the actor. I'm not sure who Michael Richards is. Is he the guy who played Kramer? Rachel's in the kitchen. She's making a potato for herself to eat because I ate her leftover sandwich earlier. Right. Well, I mean, I agree. It's the action taking that matters for me, especially. Right. The action taking of something productive or useful, even if it's just cleaning up. It's like cleaning up is kind of the bottom of the barrel of things I could do. It's not something I consider important or significant, except that it needs to be done. Like the top of the barrel would be me writing a book or making some videos, or they're long form videos instead of live streaming, or writing a new song or something like that, right? That would be the high end of me doing things. Cleaning is the low end of me doing things, but it's still better than just sitting here watching TV. Right, well, that's what I'm saying here, Lamb. Of late, it feels as though, and this is probably because of where I am in the Adderall cycle, that I've just been sitting here watching TV, just distracting myself, you know? And that starts to get a little depressing after a while. So I'm trying to address that in a concrete way right now, not trying to find some long-term solution or work on my inner self or something. I don't think there's anything wrong with my inner self. I think I'm empowered to be lazy and hedonistic, and am somewhat prone to indulging in that, you know. Unfortunately, or fortunately, but I think unfortunately. So for me, a starting point today is to get a little bit of something done. for me as an Enneagram type 7, it tends to be avoidant of everything I'm supposed to be doing. Accomplishing a few little productive tasks is encouraging and or I don't know, just makes me feel better. Being able to live stream right now and talk honestly about how I'm feeling kind of depressed and stuff, that's also makes me feel better and is I think it's fair to say that that represents kind of an unusual application of YouTube for me. I am bipolar. I'm not naturally very good or aware of my feelings, good with or aware of my feelings. And I don't tend to come on the live stream and say, I'm feeling sad today. But I think Rachel and I are both feeling that way as per our earlier conversation. And we both have the same notion of we're feeling sad for no reason. We have it too good to be sad, There's nothing to be sad about. But we're also human beings and we're subject to brain chemistry things like how much dopamine we have available, sleep deprivation, other factors. So, I'm feeling better now, really, that I'm doing all this stuff and talking about it on the live stream. It really does make a big difference. I'll address what you're saying in the chat when I get back inside. I can't really read it without my glasses on the phone. But what I can do is show you the progress that we're making like this. We're moving these gas cans. They're full of gas. This is 15 gallons of gas. I have 2 more full gas cans in the garage, so I have on hand 25 gallons of gas. I need to keep gas on hand for a couple of reasons. One of which is the little wilderness car. It runs on gasoline, so when I drive it, obviously periodically I have to put more gasoline in it. And the second is this generator. The power went out here the other day for like over 24 hours because of a fire. So we had to run that generator a lot. And accordingly, we burned through some gas, I hadn't refilled from last time either, so I figured, all right, I got 3 empty gas cans. It's time to go do a gasoline run and fill them up, which I did. And that brings us to now. You're all caught up. Now I moved them into the garage, accomplished another chore. I'm really winning at the game of life. All you need is some ammonium nitrate. What do I need ammonium nitrate for? I'm down. I just ripped one half an hour ago, though, so I'm take one again when I wake up from my little nap. Oh, what's ammonium nitrate? I will rip its toke with you, Gizmo's Graffiti, right now. On an incredibly simplistic level, you can think of depression as occurring when your cortex thinks an abstract thought and manages to convince the rest of the brain that this is as real as a physical stressor. Huh. Interesting. I remind you of the 70s urban guerrilla warfare training videos made by the FBI. Okay, well, how do I feel about Kendrick's diss to Drake? I think it was just life crushing to Drake. He tried to win back fans by making a $300,000 bet on Canada, which lost. Um, the reason I have gasoline is just because of the reasons I said. I have a generator that I need to put gasoline in, and I have a little wilderness car. And I don't want to drive the little wilderness car all the way to the gas station because it's not really supposed to be driven on real roads. I could drive it and have driven to Triangle Market before, and that's fine because it's like there's not really any cops back here in the boonies, but you're not really supposed to drive it on regular roads. All right, thanks, Gizmo Graffiti. Have a great evening. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese. All right, so I'm gonna pull. Let me put this game back on in the background. I'm gonna pull a boner up and then watch some of this soccer game here. And it's true that distress for me comprises a bunch of abstract thoughts that are negative abstract thoughts, either about the present, the future. Present meaning like, oh, I should be doing this. The future meaning like, oh, what will happen later on, you know. Or the past meaning, oh, I have this horrible memory that makes me say I hate myself. So it's like all forms of negative existence to me comprise thoughts about the future, present, or past. Other than that, I tend to be pretty happy.
Present, or past. Yeah, our cover bases cover.
Right. Well, it's either worrying about the future, stressing about the present, like oh, I need to check my email, right? Or feeling bad about the past. Like here's that bad memory that you remembered 50,000 times. You're remembering for the 50,000th first time, and still makes you go, oh, I hate myself. Like what is the point of that? Why am I wired like that?
You're not the only one that's wired like that, though.
Yeah.
And you said it yourself, it's easier to remember the negative than it is the positive.
Yeah. On the other hand, you know, when I'm feeling good and just like rolling with life, I'm probably consumed with ideas such as like I want to talk about this concept or that concept, which is kind of temporarily removed from the past, present, or future. You know, it's some kind of explanation of things that lives in this world of timelessness that ideas live in. That makes me susceptible to doing too little sensory stuff, whether it be eating enough, sleeping enough, getting enough exercise, doing tasks, whatever, sensory stuff is a deficit for me. And I think that for every person, ultimately, when they're not feeling great, they tend to assume it's a problem linking to the deficit areas of which they are aware. Hi, Victor. I'm glad that you're glad that you can jump on my channel and here tonight as you've been missing my times. That's nice to hear. Hi, Henry O'Manley. You're just a dog in a barrel, huh? Well, don't go over Niagara Falls in a barrel. That's from now on, when people ask me if I have any advice for them, that's going to be my advice.
What is it?
Don't go over Niagara Falls in a barrel. Don't.
That's good advice.
Yeah. Don't do that. It seems like it might be fun, but don't do it.
Yeah, I don't know. You've seen it in the movies, maybe cartoons, maybe.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. It's a fact.
Hero says, are you getting intrusive thoughts of regretful memories? Yeah, I get intrusive thoughts of negatively intrusive thoughts about the past, present, and future, depending on the moment and stuff. Like right now, I'm not too stressed about the present because I'm not putting off dealing with anything. I've recently checked my PayPal, so I know I'm not missing any clients or whatever. So I'm not very stressed about the present. If I'm not feeling good, then I'm either stressed about the future or past in the moment. I would say neither exactly today. It's just kind of a sense of feelings that don't necessarily link to anything specific, I guess.
That's why, like, I wanted to talk to you about, like, the dopamine effect when off of Adderall. Because I think you could do that without having, you could feel a certain way without having stuff be wrong in your life.
Right. And obviously drugs have a lot to do with that. If you say one day like, oh, I'm feeling really sick to my stomach and I have a headache and I just feel awful, and you got drunk last night, well, then that's called a hangover. There's nothing wrong with you. You just have a hangover, right? So that's the other reality about my monthly cycle of moodiness is that it comprises an Adderall hangover, and I don't like it, and obviously I can tend to turn it into something more significant than that, but really it's just that, you know?
It's just like when I get my period. Sometimes like I'll be more emotional before it, like a couple days before it. I'll cry over like the dumbest things. And it's mostly just made up stuff in my head, but it's the changing of hormones, and the lack of dopamine makes you go the opposite way of from like having that high to having a low.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you this. Tonight's live stream has made me feel generally better.
Good.
Like I feel connected more with the world, and doing some chores has helped. It's nice to have had a little bit of a theme here, which is essentially sadness, chores, and drugs.
Yeah.
the nature of various hangovers, essentially. Hi, Turkey. You did very well in your recent soccer performance. I'm sorry you didn't advance further, but congratulations on making it out of the group stage. I watched your team play on multiple occasions. I thought they did very well. Good job, Turkey, for your nice performance in the Euros. I want to know the real answer to, not chores, but how Social Blade knew you were live 2 hours before you went live. I want to know that too. I mean, did it say like he'll be live in 2 hours or something? Like 2 hours before I went live? Or did it say I was live 2 hours before I was live? If it said I was going to be live 2 hours before I went live, now that's impressive. That, I don't know how they would pull that off, because I didn't know if I was going live at all today or not, you know? If it said before I went live that I was going to go live when I went live, that's some kind of magic that I don't even know how to explain. It simply read live. Okay, well, I wasn't live at the time, so it was just wrong, I guess. Because if it's just wrong, that's not that interesting to me, why it was wrong. If it had predicted it correctly without me even having an idea that I was going to go live, that would be spooky. So we're finishing the cleaning of the pot now. We've let it soak for a little while. Now we're going to scrub it a bit with this scrub brush. Try to get some of that stubborn, stuck on, cooked on rice off. Put a little bit more soap in here. And scrub, scrub, scrub away. As you can see. We're scrubbing away not only old rice, but also feelings of sadness. All right. Now we have cleaned this pot. As clean as it's going to get. Let's go ahead and clean off the lid of the pot. Put a little soap. Scrub, 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 scrub. Rub-a-dub-dub. I'm scrubbing this lid. Alright, now that the lid is clean, we'll put the lid on top of the pot. We'll leave it a little bit open so any drips will dry out. Next we've got this pan to clean here, as you see. We'll put that off till later. Let's see what's happening in this soccer game. Is it over yet? What's going on? It's not over yet. Uruguay's trying to come back, but breadwinner, dishwasher, entertainer, debater, designated drinker. I don't know who you're talking about. I'm not a designated drinker. I don't drink. Am I a breadwinner? I'm not sure. Am I a dishwasher? Yes. Mm-hmm. Do I entertain? Sometimes. Do I debate? Sometimes. Well, Anna Nova, Rachel and I plan to go for a walk tonight. And why does he keep all the natural light blacked out? That'll make you feel depressed. Well, because we're watching TV and we don't want the glare on the TV.
Is there fights going on?
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. I've never seen that in soccer. Oh my gosh.
There's a bit of an altercation after the Colombia Uruguay game. Hello, JCE 2023, also known as 2023. Hello. Okay. People at work suck ass, says Anna Nova. I believe it. You think doing the scarf trick would help with depression? I probably would if I had enough scarves.
It was a scarf trick.
What? So many scarves?
Now, do you still pull them out of your wrist, or do
you can pull them out of all kinds of places?
Oh, really? Yeah.
Dad, did you remember that you should always cook with well-seasoned cookware, even if it's non-sticky and you season them? Well, I inherited all of our cookware, so I'm sure it's very well-seasoned. I don't know if I can do the healing gaze on myself. I think the healing gaze maybe only works on other people. I've never watched my own healing gaze before. But you know, it can't be bad for you to heal others. So let me heal you with my healing gaze. For all those 14 people out there who feel a need for some healing, get ready to be healed by my healing gaze, offered now for free to you by me, Eric. Do you feel the warm, nurturing healing? Do you see it? Do you feel it in your body? That's ASMR. It's spiritual ASMR is what that is. It doesn't involve any sound. Oh, you take in too much of the gaze? You have to make sure you get just the right amount of healing gaze. If you take too much, it can cause cancer.
Oh no!
Yeah. Don't take too much of it. Well, I'm back in the kitchen. Why? Maybe I could do a little bit of cleaning. So I'm gonna just sort of wipe up around the sink here a bit. See, it's kind of gross around the sink. As it gets in people's houses. You know, it's not just us who have kind of gross things occasionally. I know I'm a little embarrassed by how gross I let things get sometimes, but I can't. It's not that bad. It's like other people who are grosser than this even sometimes. This is not gross for me historically in the scale of my life. This is a period of ungrossness.
Oh my god, I fucking hate this commercial.
Which one do you hate?
T-Mobile with the two dudes from Scrubs
Or-
and Jason Momoa.
God, I hate all those commercials of those two guys.
All of those, all of them.
Now I'm outside to get some healing moisture from the plants and stuff. Heal me, O tree of nature. Heal me. This should be my thumbnail for this video, for every video. Heal me. How coquettish. I'm hiding. Watch out, everybody. I'm hiding. I hear Rachel laughing about that. Makes me laugh. This is the final rays of the afternoon sun getting struck right here. They look especially well lit now. You can really see all my pores. It's called Lovely Afternoon Hillside. I call this picture Down in the Gully. I call this picture, thank God these tables are not inside our house anymore. I call this picture Puffballs on a Summer Eve. I need to get some clippers and clip this so that it doesn't get in the way when I'm walking. Well, anyway, Now we've gone outside again. Isn't that good? It's good to go outside occasionally. You don't have to smoke cigarettes to go outside. You can go outside for no reason, like I just did. Just to feel the outsidiness of it. It's not that hot outside. It's quite mild. I believe we have the air conditioner off at the moment, but it's still very cold inside the house because this house is very well insulated. There's my darling squirreling pants.
Hi, Marley Marley.
Hi. Oh, are you high tonight? No, I'm not. I'm uncharacteristically sober at the moment. I have no amphetamines in me, just a little bit of marijuana, and that's it. I'm just living the dull life. But I do think that Rachel and I should go to see a Giants game. The conversation you were having made me want to go see a Giants game.
Dude, I mean, sounds like it's a beautiful stadium.
And when we do go, it's not that hot here, though. Winston's mom. It's about 10 degrees cooler than where we are than in town, consistently, according to my car, right? Like the car will tell me what temperature it is when I get into the car here, and it'll be like 97. When we get to town, it'll be like 107.
Yeah.
And when we get back, it'll be like 97 again. So it's consistently 10 degrees cooler than what it says. Like right now, I don't think it says on the screen here, it says 97. I don't think it's that hot right now. We're in California, but we're at 4,100 feet.
Oh, yes.
So, and we have a lot of nature around us. A lack of development around us, which makes it cooler when you have more plants and less like concrete and stuff. Hi, Ruben R. What's going on? We're doll life living gnarly snarling pantses. What about you and Acacia? What are you two up to?
Oh, yes. You love it. Oh, the baby.
We haven't started renting that house yet. So, if you guys want to come up very soon, it's still empty. It still has all the stuff that it had before. Still doesn't have air conditioning. But if you guys were to come up, maybe we get a window unit or something.
Yeah.
We're thinking about waiting till later, I guess till it cools down a bit to try to rent it. It's a little bit more pleasant around here. We should get on it right away, but we need to order some curtains. It's curtains, you hear? Curtains. So, right now, I guess we're just sort of killing time, waiting for potentially a walk here once we get stars and stuff. Rachel and I are thinking about taking a walk to look at the night sky, see if we spot any more satellites or what have you. I'm gonna have one of these non-alcoholic beers. We've got a lot of beverages that need to be put in the fridge. That's another chore I could do right now. Get another Jordan Peterson point. How many Jordan Peterson points have I gotten today? I put the cords away. That's one Jordan Peterson point. I put the 15 gallons of gas away. That's 2 Jordan Peterson points. I cleaned the pot. That's 3 Jordan Peterson points. I don't know, Winston's on about the ceiling fans. We don't have any of them on.
They definitely can. That one of the flips, one of the switches, makes the fans go counterclockwise.
Yeah, I believe that. I was just saying I don't know if they are switched to counterclockwise or not.
No, I don't know either.
Well, that's fine, Hero Lamb. Even if nobody cares about Jordan Peterson anymore because he became irrelevant, I'm still giving myself Jordan Peterson points, okay?
Why has he become irrelevant?
Hero Lamb says he got replaced by other similar guys.
Interesting. But what guys are we talking about? Like, I don't know anyone similar to him.
Good question. That's a good question. That's my answer. So it kind of feels good to drink non-alcoholic beer when watching baseball. Uh-oh. Home run for the Red Sox.
Live.
Rachel's placed some olives in a bowl here.
Yeah.
So these olives have pits in them.
Yeah.
You don't encounter that very often anymore. I like it.
Oh, the baby boy. Thank you for letting me give you my love language.
I think it's unsettling how much like brain chemistry has to do with everything, and sometimes circumstances have nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
In other instances, it seems like circumstances have everything to do with everything, and it's hard to get a real grip on what things mean what.
I have to remind myself, sometimes I'll, after Adderall, I'll feel down, and I'll forget that it's because of the Adderall, and then I'll be, worried that, something's wrong with us.
Nothing's wrong with us. We're a couple of intuitives clinging to one another in a storm of existential terror.
Oh my gosh, I'm glad I can cling on to you, though.
Likewise. So, Ruben, you didn't answer any of my questions. Is that indicative of trouble or something? You know I'm going to notice when you don't answer my questions.
That's true. You don't let things go by at all. Even me. Oh, yes. You've become so accustomed to my love language. Thank you, Trouble.
Well, I'm saying if you want to come back and stay in it until we actually start renting it, if you want to come up in fairly shortly, we haven't started renting it again yet, you're welcome to come stay in it. As far as the rent goes, I think we're going to be, well, the way I currently have it planned is I think we're going to be including bi-weekly trash and water, and I guess we'll start by asking $2,200 a month for it, But if you guys wanted to rent it, we might be able to do a little better than that.
Yeah. Yeah, if you guys wanted to rent it, we could definitely work something out.
Yeah. I kind of assumed you had to live in San Antonio.
Yeah.
But maybe you become less attached to that idea. I don't know.
I think there's responsibilities there. I'm not sure.
Well, what I'm saying is, if you want to come up soon before we start renting it on a month to month, then you don't need to pay us anything. You can just stay there for free.
Yeah, if it's gonna be for a week or two,
Yeah, like if
then you wouldn't be renting it.
yeah,
really.
if you want to come up if you want to come up here shortly, like I don't expect we're gonna rent it before August. We'll probably start renting it in August. So if you want to come stay there sometime in July, go for it. It's just sitting there at the moment, so you don't need to pay us anything to do that. The only thing holding us back from starting to rent really is getting some curtains in there. But I don't know. Just figure getting started to rent somewhere around the beginning of the month is a good idea. It's currently like the 10th of July. Figure start renting it near the beginning of August, and until then it's just sitting there. So
Yeah, because we're not gonna do. We're doing people who pay monthly, right?
yeah, we're gonna rent month to month. So, if you don't want to come up in July, we could try to maybe move that timetable up. I'm not sure. It's like there's this issue of, do we want to get an air conditioner for it, and if we don't, well, yeah. Anyway, yeah, talk to Acacia about it. We're a few weeks away, at least, from actually starting to try to find a renter for it, so it's still available if you want to use it. No, they're not coming. They canceled, Ribbon. They canceled. So we had sort of reserved it for them in July, but they canceled. I didn't know you didn't know that.
Oh, the baby.
Let's go athletics. I said, let's go athletics. I said, let's go athletics. I don't know what game winning streak. Is there a game winning streak? I think they lost yesterday. Let's break that losing streak. How dare they that we left Easter eggs for them? Wow, Ruben R. That was very sweet and thoughtful of you, but they blew it. They blew it.
I mean, what do you think about staging?
I don't think it's worth it for a rental.
Not for that.
No.
Place.
I think for a month to month, people figure they're going to live there for a while.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we're looking to get, and they'll decorate it how they want to decorate it, and do what they want to do. We might want to get rid of that horrible lampshade.
Oh yeah, definitely get rid of that horrible entrance. There's one of these up in the blue room that we could replace it with if we want
We can
to.
just buy a new lampshade, right?
Yeah.
I think it was a money thing. Nice job, double. Run scores. 4-1 athletics.
Let's go athletics.
He said, let's go athletics. He said, let's go athletics. We're gonna break that losing streak. Break that losing streak. All right. Well, what other chores do I have to do before we consider wrapping up the stream? There's another chore called clean the other pan. And then, I know Rachel just ate some potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
But I could conceive of myself making rice with maybe even fried rice. You're not that hungry.
I could absolutely go for rice. I'm thinking I love the way the jasmine rice tasted without
Anything?
Yeah.
You just want white rice? That's fine if you just want white rice. Should I try calling you Chuck Chansky? I saw that the health points and magic points. I saw that actually. I wondered what you guys were doing when I saw that. I was like, are they playing like real life Dungeons and Dragons or something?
yeah. We both were like, what?
That was funny. All right, so Rachel wants rice, regular white rice.
If you don't mind.
No, I don't mind at all. I was just talking about making it. Let's do it. I got my rice pot clean. Let's dirty it again. Here's my rice pot. You might say it doesn't look very clean. These are years of cooking on this pot because this is my parents' pot, you know. All right. There's a little stuff that we call premium jasmine rice. We don't get the ordinary jasmine rice around here. We splurge for the premium jasmine rice. We're going to take 1 cup of rice. A la meow. Then we can put this rice away. We just need the 1 cup. That's all we need. This is a resealable pack, so reseal it, put it back in there. Now, what's our next endeavor here on Rice Making Island?
Guitar stand is you.
Who?
Johnny.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have the same guitar stand as Johnny.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty special like that.
Maybe you guys are like twin flames.
Maybe we both ordered it from the same Amazon.
I think you did.
All right, so we've got this rice stirred. Now, we're gonna go We're going to go 8 minutes on the initial cook. This is the jasmine rice. It cooks a little differently than the regular rice. Regular rice, you need to cook it a little longer. This, you go 8 minutes on the initial hard boil to get to the initial hard boil. And keep in mind this is at 4,100 feet elevation, which isn't super high, but is enough to affect cooking temperatures. Cooking times, I mean. It's going to probably take you less time to cook than it does me if you're at a regular normal elevation. Pepe Chadley, you're one of the people I was thinking, God, that guy is not very pleasant. And he come in right away, unpleasant. I was thinking about you earlier, thinking when I was gonna title the live stream, The Rise of Cruddy People. I was thinking about you specifically. Hello, I'm from Russia and I don't know your language. Turn on Russian music and appreciate Miyagi Brooklyn. Okay. I read your thing out loud. You are welcome. 9 meals away from anarchy says, damn, what was I going to ask you? Good night, INFJ forever. Remember, you're an INFJ forever. You're stuck with it. Nothing's wrong with doing chores. I've been doing a lot of chores here this evening. I've been counting my chores in Jordan Peterson points tonight. So I cleaned the cat box. That's a Jordan Peterson point. I moved the gas into the garage. Jordan Peterson point. I cleaned the rice pot. Jordan Peterson point. I did take out the trash earlier, but anyway, nothing's wrong with chores. I'm trying to get some done that need to get done. Some basic stuff. It's nice to get it off the list, you know. What I'm basically saying is, one of my problems in life is I'm just not sensory enough. I don't spend enough time doing concrete tasks and getting my hands dirty and getting sweaty. Nothing. I'm not a famous person. The channel is called Talking with Famous People. I'm the one talking with people who are famous. That makes no claim about myself that I'm famous. Good night, INFJ forever. Would you say God is famous? It's an interesting question. Well, people certainly do talk about him a lot. I'd say that. Because I think fame and, say, significance are slightly different things, right? So, George Clooney is famous, but, say, Joan of Arc is historically significant. She's dead. Famous person seems to be an attribute that we would only apply to living human beings. So in that regard, I think it's a bit of a category area to call God famous, even though he's well known and of significance, you know. That's why I think it's an interesting question. I don't talk to God on live streams, no. That's not something I talk about. Nine meals away from anarchy says, I spent the day outside yesterday and saw airplanes laying a line of, I'm guessing, a fuel dump because they're not allowed to enter airports with an abundance of fuel since 9/11. But I noticed that they dispersed and covered the blue sky. So you're saying chemtrails? Is that what you're saying? I mean, it's not entirely implausible. There's uh there's a case where the U.S. military did spray various things on various U.S. populations to test them. It seems odd that they just dumped the fuel into the atmosphere. What's my opinion about hashish? It's been a long time since I've gotten what I consider hash, which has a very distinct taste, you know, and is a pretty distinct form of marijuana. Doesn't seem like they really make it properly anymore. It doesn't seem to taste like hash anymore. I don't know. You know, new days marijuana reality is different than olden days marijuana reality. All right, Boba Fett. I have a pool for my little one, and when it rains, the water becomes slimy and cloudy. Well, does it go through any trees on the way down? Maybe it's got goop from the trees on it. I don't experience anything like that where I live. All the precipitation seems really normal to me, but I also, we don't get a lot of air traffic overhead, really, you know. Hello. It'll say Bo Jiden. Speaking of pool, it's time to do it swim soon. Do a swim soon. But roasting wait. I can't read that. That's too hard to read. I'll have to wait till I get back in the other room. I don't have my glasses, it's just a little too small for me to make any sense of it all. Okay, so now that this has come to a hard boil for 8 minutes, we'll put this lid on. We'll reduce the flame to low. That seems about right. Yeah, seems about right. Now we'll put this on for 22 minutes. It's 30-minute rice. Plus a 5-minute resting period. Alf did supposedly eat cats, but in the show he never actually successfully ate a cat. You ordered some vintage Alf merchandise. Speaking of pool, it's time to do a swim soon. Just roasting a stealth busy, real quizzy. I have no idea what that means now that I can read it as well. 9 Meals Away from Anarchy says, "Have a good night, man." You too. It's a great name. 9 Meals Away from Anarchy. It imagines that if everyone were to not be able to eat for 3 straight days, that would result in anarchy. I like the idea. It's interesting. Oh, you're roasting a stealth bull. I see. Because probably in Texas it's not that legal to smoke weed, huh? Do they live in a real castle with Kate and William? I never lived in a castle with Kate and William. I don't remember when Alf made that pond in the backyard. I did want to mention I was very impressed with ChatGPT the other day when I asked it the following question. So this is the kind of question that I think might pose a problem for an AI in terms of complexity of question and what needs to be answered. I said, why is it that the longest day of the year doesn't mark the middle of the summer? And it understood entirely what I meant and gave me a wonderful answer that explained thermal lag and various other factors that make it such that summer is shifted like 2 months this way or away from the longest day of the year. But that takes understanding to understand the question I'm asking. I was also very impressed with how it answered when I asked it, do do people really have houses where you pull a book in a bookcase and it opens a secret door? It gave me such a satisfying response. I was just very impressed. It was such a human response. It was like, actually, yes, they really do. And here's some examples, and people do it for a variety of reasons, and blah 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 blah. I was very impressed. But there's illegal Delta 9 THC bud that's at the dispensaries. Huh, that's crazy. It's not quite the same. Is it worse or what? Do you know that one show that ran for like 9 seasons and was very popular in Japan is Full House? Full House was very popular in Japan. Isn't that odd? Isn't that surprising? I think so. I've been watching some YouTube videos about like Japanese memes. Basically, stuff that if you run out of interesting kind of stories like spooky unsolved mysteries that are commonly covered in the West, then you can start getting into these ones that are covered in Japan but don't really make it into the Western news. And I'm watching some of those. I have this feeling that everyone is at the breaking point. One wrong thing spoken to them or horn beeping in traffic, everyone is at the breaking point or close to it, if not there. I mean, I felt like that back when I lived in the city. I don't feel like that now, like around here, but I get what you're saying completely. 9 Meals from Anarchy. It feels like a lot of people are at the breaking point. What's Reggie? Well, I'm sure a lot of people like anime. I mean, I like anime. I watch anime all the time. Oh, Reggie's is weed. Is it regular weed? Bob UFO says if you have good relationship with the lab, you can get whatever results you want. Maybe. So, I like the idea of what you're saying as a sort of as a topic and as kind of an alarmist reality here. It does feel like things are kind of intense and volatile right now. Do I like swing music? Yeah, I don't dislike it. I don't actively listen to it a lot. What's THCA? No, I'm going to have to look it up. So it's just the precursor to THC? That's not very interesting. Okay. So, what are we doing? We're making rice and we still have a pot to clean. I mean, a pan to clean. To clean the pot, I need to clean the pan. We're not going to use the pan, but I'll clean it anyway. So, welcome to Pan Cleaning 101, a study of clean pans and dirty days. I wonder where Rachel is. Alright. So, this pan has a little bit of grease in it. You don't generally want a lot of grease going down the drain. I'm going to get some of this grease off like this. Throw it in the trash can. Now, I'm going to put a little bit of soap right here into this pan, like so. Then I will use this brush to scrub away all the dirtiness inside. And this soap will break the molecular bond that attaches oils to the surface of this pan, allowing me to more easily scrub away the grease. It's called the magic of soap. Soap's basically like a debuff spell for grease. My molecular bonds have been weakened. Someone cast soap on us. That's what the grease does. When going into battle against soap. Alright. Good job. Now, this is loose. So we're going to need to get a screwdriver and tighten this up. Let's try this one. There. Wow. I really get a Jordan Peterson point for that one. That's definitely worth a Jordan Peterson point. That's been bugging for a while. I just fixed it. Like, bam, I fixed it. That got so fixed so fast I didn't even know what hit it. I'm just going to get this lid a little bit too. Give it a little bit of the old washeroo. The rinse suspense. The suspense of the rinse, as they call it. Alright. And we'll just dry the top, just the bottom. Put it a little off so it doesn't get any moisture does successfully dry. Put it like that. There we go. Alright, now put that away. I've got the rice cooking. It's got 9 minutes left till it's done. I'm going to wipe down this counter. Clean it off a little bit. Close the toaster oven. Get this little crap off of here. Get all of this little crap. There. There. Don't we feel better now? We've done a little bit of chore. We've earned some Jordan Peterson points.
Yeah, you did.
Looks like the athletics won. Good job, athletics.
Good job, athletics.
So I think what we'll do is plan to just wait till our food's done. We'll eat our dinner with you, and then we'll probably wrap up. The stream. Are you doing a YouTube for meth? I don't do meth. Crystal and Don Day Chief. Day Chief. Yeah, Tess says, well, look at this guy living happier than me at 26. Well, I mean, actually the odd point of this video is that I think both Rachel and I were feeling kind of sad today.
Yeah, we were.
We weren't feeling very lively or engaged in life and stuff. I think this has helped some.
Yeah.
This stream has, and doing some chores has, etc. I feel better. But people reading what may think that. I don't know. I'm not on anything at the moment except for a couple of armrests every once in a while. Some coffee, you know. Pretty mild array of drugs that I'm taking. I think I'll get some more coffee. I turned it off, but it stays hot for a while. This is called Eric's Ultra Convenient Coffee Station. I do drink a lot of coffee, so I make it by the percolator full. I'll tell you what's gotten very expensive is coffee creamer. It's $10 for one of those coffee creamer things. Ridiculous. I use a lot of coffee creamer too, so it's an expensive habit. As you may have noticed, I use the half cup scooper for coffee creamer. Half a cup of coffee creamer is the right amount for me. We do have each other, test, and that's hugely significant, you know. I think that both Rachel and I, before we started streaming, we first talked to each other and hugged and etc. And we don't just have each other, but we're on the same page, which is great.
It is.
I guess we'll put on the athletics game. I mean the Giants game in the background. Well,
How are they doing? Do you know?
I haven't really kept up with them. I know that the A's are, I believe, probably still 15.5 out of the wild card, which is make upable in my opinion. The Giants are up 2-0 over the Blue Jays currently. So in just a little while, the race will be done. Yes, we are going to go for a walk tonight, but we're actually going to wait for it to get dark so we can see if we see any spaceships, satellites, UFOs, drones, shooting stars, comets, meteors, asteroids, or any such other things. Am I a believer in UFOs? Not really. I don't believe there are aliens. I do believe that we have probably our own highly advanced, our most advanced technology that's not available to the public is probably like it's probably that accounts for a lot of what you might call genuine UFO sightings. Like, yeah, government black budget stuff. Right, exactly. I think that most of what we see as UFOs is government black budget stuff. And I think UFO stories are probably a disinformation campaign to keep the public not sniffing around too much. Some of that, the authentic reasons for that. But it's really hard to say. The government has so much money that it spends in secret. It's really hard to say what it spends it on. And because it spends it in secret, and it's easy to imagine that if they feel the need to spend it in secret, they must be doing something kind of shady, right? It's a reasonable conclusion to draw. It may or may not be accurate, but the reason I don't believe in aliens is because of the distances, time, and physical restrictions of the speed of light and stuff like that. That's why I don't believe in aliens. I mean, I don't doubt that there's some kind of alien life on other planets. I don't believe in space traveling aliens that visit us.
You think we're the aliens, right?
Yeah, well, I think it's very plausible that at one point aliens did come to this planet and they were us and we're now here. I think that's plausible. But it's also, I think it's less than impossible that alien spacecraft could have or will come to Earth. I think it's possible. I think it would probably be some kind of long-term probe hurtling through space, subject to the same distance, time, and speed limitations that we are, rather than like a UFO with aliens on it, you know? Like, we've sent some deep space probes out into space with no intention of them ever returning. That might eventually hit some alien life that has sufficient capacity to intercept it in space or something. I could conceive of us doing the same to somebody else's shit. What I don't conceive of is kind of like some sort of analog of a car driving between two cities. I just don't think that's the case. I think we'd all like there to be aliens, most of us. It's like, it's the perfect combination of believability and mythology. The thing is, I didn't used to think that humanity would ever make AI that was self-aware, sentient, like a human being. But I now changed my position on that. I think it will. I think it may have already have. I just gotta turn that off. That's fine. It's timed out. I'm done right now anyway. Turn that off. Okay, so let that sit for 5 minutes. Timer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll let that sit for 5 minutes because that's necessary too. I'm still talking to my engaged ex. Well, I mean, you should tell her that she needs to break up with her significant other because she obviously can't get married to somebody when she's cheated on him already. You know, tell him. Tell her to tell him. Tell her that it's evil, you know? Hurts my heart to hear about it.
About her talking to her ex?
And him talking to his ex.
Oh, yeah. And she's engaged?
Yeah.
Like, what are these conversations? I don't know. I think it's. I don't know.
Rachel cooks sometimes, you know. I cook when I feel like it. She makes food when she wants to. Or when I ask her to, you know. I'm more likely to ask her to make me something than she is to ask me to make her something. But I'm more likely to want to make something on my own than she is. So it kind of balances out. Show the chick.
Oh my gosh. I'm his wife.
This is my wife, Rachel. Okay, she's not the chick.
I'm Eric's chick.
I'm Eric's. Yeah, she's Eric's chick.
What the heck was I gonna say?
I don't know. Looking forward to some rice?
Yeah, I am. Oh my goodness, Trouble, you're so good. Yes, yes, yes.
Um, 2 minutes on the resting. Yet to go. You ever see the Don't ban me, I'm being fun. I gotta admit that's a pretty great sentence. Don't ban me, I'm being fun. But are you though? I mean, that sentence is fun. I agree. But are you really being fun, or are you just claiming to be fun? I need a beverage. All right. It's time to bite the bullet, I think. It's time to bite the bullet and put in this 12-pack of currants. Bam. Fridge ready. But not yet cold, so I'll drink this in the interim. Okay. This is rested almost enough. I guess I'll just go ahead and I'll give it a little bit of a hand wash to kill some time here. Go there and speak your truth. It's garage time. Well, we're 30 seconds away from fully rested rice. So let's just give it the time that it wants. Allow it to know the truth of goodness in full. Okay. Now we've got you set up to see all of the action. I think you're going to love it. First, we're going to take this and this over there. I'll be right back. Rice cookers are for P-U-S-S-I-E-S, okay? Real men cook rice the old-fashioned way with their own two hands. Rice cooker rice has no soul. Yes, my darling. It is absolutely fine. Okay. So yeah, maybe I'm a little too cool to use a rice cooker. That's okay. That's just me. Alright? Just who I am. I live the spirit of the Old West every day. In the Old West, this is how they cooked rice. With nothing but a 6-shooter and a bottle of tequila. Alright. Now we've got a couple of nice bowls of plain white rice. Let's put this pot, which is hot, into the sink, which is pink. Put some soap and the Pope on the bottom of this bottom. We're going to let this fill up with water, and in doing so, prevent this rice from getting too stuck to the bottom of the pot. You can see all the action occurring right here in the sink, right before your eyes. We've got the rice scooper in here. We've got the pot itself filling with water, filling with soap. Here's a more well-lit version of the same thing. We're going to wait for it to get all the way to the top, because that's how you know it's really going to soak all the things you need it to soak. And as we get to the top, we're going to put this in here too. And then you just wait for it to fill up all the way. Being very patient until it's all the way filled up. And then, yeah. Okay, now we've got 2 bowls of rice and 1 collective dream to eat it. Turn off some lights. Here you go, plain white rice.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It looks delicious.
All right, well, let's see how the rice came out, shall we? Put a little soy sauce on there. That's really all you need on your plain white rice.
Yeah.
Doesn't require a lot of fussing and the fudging. You just kind of stir it around a little bit here. It's good.
It is good.
It's very good.
Thank you.
Well, you know, governments and powerful organizations have done incredibly horrible things to various populations of people with various justifications, you know. It's always the same thing, ultimately. It's utilitarianism run amok.
Yeah. Watch out, Trouble.
This isn't for you, Trouble. It's very good.
Sure is.
I actually wish I had cooked the broccoli that we have tonight because I think it's probably not going to last very much longer. I actually like certain vegetables fine. I'm not opposed to side dishes or vegetables. I just don't, I'm not always in the habit of making stuff with vegetables in it. You might call it saintly. That might be a good name for a good word for the U.S. government. Pure as the driven snow as well is good. I like that too. Temporal top order, but I think saintly. Not unlike the Catholic Church, right? Good call on the plain white rice.
Thanks. Thanks for making it so good.
I think what I'll do next time, Rachel, is just stir fry up the other stuff and just put it on top of plain white rice rather than do the fried rice whole thing.
I like that.
Well, yeah, I have finished eating. I've done quite a few chores, really.
Yeah.
Quite a few things done.
Quite a few.
Feeling pretty proud of myself. Well, like Rachel made herself a potato earlier. I ate the leftover half a sandwich from her earlier, so we both had kind of a pre-dinner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go put this in the sink. I think go outside for a second. Have some nicotine vape. Hi, kitty. There you go. You're eating. Good for you. He likes to eat. I might say he's fond of eating. There goes an old man on a quad. A lot of people have little wilderness cars up here. Let's say the majority of our neighbors do have little wilderness cars. It's quite a lovely evening, really. Pleasant temperature. I don't know what it is, but it's not too hot at all. Certainly not too cold. Not really any bugs either. A couple bugs, but mostly no bugs. As I mentioned before, the house across the street is for sale. You might be able to kind of see it through the trees here. It's a greenhouse. It's not across the street, it's across the gully. If you wanted to buy that house across the gully, you could be my neighbors. You and I could share this gully. You could have that half, I could have this half. We could meet down at the bottom of the gully. Be like, hey, how's it going? Who wants to do that? Show me your belly. This is my belly, 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 belly. This is my belly, 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 belly. There, are you satisfied? You want to see even more of my belly? Okay, here you go. My belly. People have often told me, Eric, you should become a belly dancer. Belly, 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 look at my belly. I'm a belly dancer tonight. Belly, 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 it's not smelly. I'm a belly dancer tonight. Look at my belly from the side. It is as tall as it is wide. Look at my belly from the front. It is my belly, not my cunt. Now look at my belly from behind. Oh wait, that's my lower back, never mind. I said, look at my belly, 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 belly. How you like that song, huh? That was pretty good, huh? That was a pretty good song. I'm pretty proud of myself. I won Best Belly Song of the Day award. Which is an award they give out every day for the best belly song in the world made that day. Okay.
Really is the best belly song of the day.
Mm-hmm. It's called Belly, Belly, Belly. Bro has the most bombastive. Strange folks out there, says Johnny Hubbers. Thanks, Scott M. I also agree that it was Grammy worthy. That's not saying much, of course. The things that have won Grammys. Oh, now it's 5-3 Blue Jays.
No.
If you want to tell us about biryani, tell us about it. Don't tell us to Google it. This is in San Francisco, too. Those San Francisco fans must be disappointed. Poorly played by the San Francisco Giant. How he managed to not get that, I don't know. All right, well, I think I'm going to pull a couple bong rips and then probably end this stream. And after it gets dark, Rachel and I will probably go for a walk around the block, look at stars from various spots. I'm kind of interested to look down at the end of the street here, you know, where we can kind of look out over the edge of that valley.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we got a lot of stars. We have very little light pollution, and it's also an area where drone activity is allowed, where you can put drones up. So we do see a fair amount of drone activity around here. The tree people. Sarthak, I want you to search about the tree people. Learn more about the tree people, then come back and talk to us. He says there's a race of men in the trees. He's for tough legislation. That's a quote from a Donald Fagen song called Night Fly, about a middle of the night radio station taking phone calls. Winston's mom says, thank you for this, Winston's mom. Will everyone please take a quick second to hit the smash and gently tap of the like button? Thanks.
Thank you.
We do appreciate that. Oh, you're back. You're back to eating more drywall. I see. I'm so pleased to hear that. Now let me pull another book. You know, this I think has been a very good therapeutic live stream.
And too.
I think I've gone from feeling kind of sad to feeling more normal. So I want to thank each and every one of you out there for helping me to transition. I think maybe Rachel as well.
Yeah.
Rachel explained today that when she sees me feeling down, she feels like it's her responsibility to cheer me up, even if she's feeling down herself. I didn't really realize that until she told me that today. Thanks, No Name. Appreciate your kind words. And Lori G, hello. How are you?
I can't help it, you know? It just... I know sometimes there's nothing I can do, but still.
One thing I think that's nice about tonight's stream is that the numbers have been low, but I don't find that distressing at all.
No.
Instead, I find it kind of comforting to have just people who really want to be here, I guess, mostly. So it's kind of a salve in a couple of different ways. This chat is so friendly and relaxed. Even the tree people are kicking back with a plate of biryani and hitting the like button. Yeah, everybody get a plate of biryani.
What's that?
Some kind of Indian food. I don't know.
Oh.
It's the turducken of India. It's a cow stuffed inside of a water buffalo stuffed inside of a hippo. And then you roast the whole thing by cooking it underground in a big pit. So you could call it India's luau. India's turducken luau. Oh, why are you so bad at playing baseball? That guy.
Is that his second error?
I think he was the previous error too, right?
I don't know.
Might have been a different guy who was the previous error. That was the same guy. It's like, it looks like he's trying to throw the game almost. He's doing such a poor job. He gets the first out. And then whoop. Oh.
It does almost look staged.
The other one totally did. He got out of the way of it. It was weird. Born from the efforts of a teenager over 50 years ago, Tree People inspires and supports the people of Southern California to come together and plant and care for trees, harvest the rain, and renew depleted landscapes. Good for Tree People. Good for Tree People. Yeah, but I believe we were talking about a race of people who secretly lives in the trees that nobody's talking about. People talk about Sasquatches, Loch Ness Monsters, Chupacabras. What about the tree people?
Yeah, what about them?
If you're like me, you know that somehow secretly in the trees there's a race of very small people who blend in really well. No.
Are they small or like our size?
No, they're smaller than us. They're like, maybe let's say 1/8 scale. So if you're 60 inches, so let's just say you're 64 inches, then you'd just be 8 inches. So you're 5'2", right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're like 62 inches, right?
I don't know.
Let me see. 62 inches. So it would be like a person like you, proportion the same, but instead of being 5'2", they'd just be 8 inches tall.
Oh wow!
So like maybe this tall. They're a race of
like
people.
a Barbie doll.
They're a little bigger than a Barbie. Let's say more
Okay.
like a foot. Okay, like a foot tall. Sometimes as high as 1.5 feet.
Wow.
And they're small men who are, they look like people, except no, they live in the trees. They're like monkeys, except they're actually people. And They talk and everything, but they have skin that looks like bark, so it's hard to see them. They blend in so well with the trees. But you could probably find some blurry pictures of people capturing them. You know, if you look through enough pictures, you look through enough blurry pictures, there's probably some image that contains something that looks like a tree person.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I want to see these.
I know. I'd like to meet a tree person. I don't think they speak English. They speak tree person language.
So do they like when people hug trees, or do they get squished?
Well, they wouldn't be hanging down that low in the tree. They hang out way up high.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, that's how comes they're hard to see.
Oh.
They don't really come down that much. No, tree people are different. They're just like regular people, like regular naked people, except instead of skin, it looks like they have bark. But it's not bark, it's skin, but they have chameleon-like ability to change it to make it look like the color of different barks. It's naturally kind of brown and wood-looking. They can make it look like different barks. They blend in really well. It's really hard to catch a glimpse of a real tree person. But I want right now and right here to be the beginning of the urban legend of tree people.
It's the beginning?
Yeah. I mean, I'm telling the story of the olden days. You know, back in the 1800s, a lot of prospectors reported seeing these tree people.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, why did it die down?
Well, because there's been some kind of, people just forget about it. It passes away from the collective memory. But I remember now, and I'm bringing it back, okay? It gives it more legitimacy than if I were just talking about it being made up right now.
Sure.
Yeah. So when you realize that prospectors are some of the first people who sighted the tree people around here, then you realize tree people are real.
What about, like, the Loch Ness Monster? It's been a while since, like...
Rachel, a Loch Ness Monster could never live in a tree.
That's true.
So if you're trying to say maybe tree people are just the Loch Ness Monster, I don't think so. I think what do the tree people eat? They eat leaves and berries and fruits and stuff.
How convenient.
And pine needles. They eat a lot of
pine needles too.
They have a lot of complicated preparatory mechanisms they use. They don't cook. They don't use heat because they don't want to start a forest fire. But they use various naturally occurring forest acids to make like ceviches and stuff. Okay.
They make ceviches.
Yes. Exactly.
Wow, they're like really developed. I mean, I guess I don't know.
They're pretty. They've got a pretty complex culture, but they don't let outsiders in to see it at all. You know, I'm one of the only people doing work in the field right now. Tree people.
They're working in the fields.
I'm one of the only people doing work in this field.
Oh.
Studying tree people, talking about them and their ways.
Did they feel more seen, like, in the past? Who discovered them?
The prospectors.
The prospectors, yeah. So do they think that you're a prospector?
No, I mean, they just kind of fell off the radar because it was, a few sharp-eyed prospectors were paying a lot more attention to their surrounding and their trees and involved a lot more in the trees, and they caught the tree people off guard. The tree people hadn't encountered people like prospectors before. They had encountered the Native Americans before, but they had learned, that Native Americans didn't really tend to notice them as long as they stayed hidden and stuff. But Native Americans also didn't chop down so many trees. The prospectors started chopping down trees, and then like a tree person would fall off from the top of it, and they'd see it limping away, and they'd go, "Oh my God, look, it's the tree person." But then stories of them got lost in history until today. I'm finally bringing back the true story of the tree people.
Wow, until today.
Yeah. Why did the tree person bring a suitcase to the forest? Because they were planning to branch out. That is in fact part of the humor lore of the tree people, I think. Maybe.
Wow.
You must have met some tree people before Ninja to have learned one of their jokes. No, tree people don't cook with fire, Jesus Christ. They use naturally occurring forest acids to make various kinds of ceviches. Okay? They do eat fish. Sometimes they'll make a large kill, like a bear or something. But remember, you're talking about people who are only like this big, so that's going to last them a long time. They just have to make sure that the meat is you know safely dried out and stuff, which they do with which they do with various forest acids, as I said. Again, they instead of doing like dried bear, they'll have basically pickled. They pickle things a lot.
They pickle things a lot?
Yeah, that's how they avoid starting forest fires.
Oh, wow.
How do they feel about beavers? They're longtime enemies, obviously.
Oh, long time enemies.
Yeah, the tree people hate beavers. The beavers chop down their trees. The tree people get hurt. Sometimes the tree people go to war and knock down a beaver dam. That's why sometimes you'll see that. People typically attribute it to like, oh, there was a recent storm.
Yeah.
There was beaver dams can withstand those storms easily, but if you look carefully, a lot of them will show the signs of cutting with small tools and stuff, because a whole crowd of tree people will go down there and dismantle a beaver dam bit by bit with like saws and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. Can I answer the question above? Did an albino monkey poop on your left eyeball and then lick it off you? And have you ever stricken your butthole with cocaine bear hairs? No and no.
How do tree people feel about like cone putters?
I think that a lot of so-called traffic accidents with cone putters are actually tree people sneaking up and pushing them in front of cars.
Oh, wow! So they're not friendly with cone putters.
Well, it's hard to say. They're secretive people.
Oh.
They're sneaky people. That's why so few people have heard of them before. Anderson Santos, tonight's conversation is the tree people. Have you heard of the tree people? It's a race of people who lives in the trees. It's about this big. They were first discovered by prospectors back in the mid-19th century. Anyway, they've recently come back into vogue. I believe it's trending on Twitter right now, tree people. $2 in my right nut says Bigfoot is you. Well, you owe me $2 and one right nut, because I'm not Bigfoot. Delano Baltzaliano. Anyway, so now do you believe in the tree people? That's the real question. It's getting reasonably dark, but not quite dark enough for us to see some stars.
No.
Why don't we go take a preparatory walk out front to look at the amount of light that there is? Would you like to join me on this?
Yeah. I want to change my shoes when we go for a walk, but yeah.
Okay. Have you heard of the tree people in the mountain of Watsonville, California? I'm not sure about Watsonville, California. I haven't looked recently at a map of tree people spottings, but I would suspect it covers all the forested areas of California, Washington, Oregon. It's going to be similar to Bigfoot territory. Canada, places where there are a lot of trees. You might find small populations of tree people in arboretums, but I don't know. It might be too dangerous for them to go there, even though there's a lot of trees. Because it would depend on how tall the trees are. Since they can survive on pine needles, bark, different kinds of leaves and stuff, they could successfully live in like the LA County Arboretum. Joshua tree, they'd hate it. Yeah, they'd hate that. Those are not trees according to the tree people. Those are cactuses. They want nothing to do with them. They would scoff at the Joshua tree being called a tree. Tree, they'd say. Should you leave your family now? I'm going to say probably not.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds like you need to figure some things out. That's very, you know, difficult to hear. Oh, God, that's just gross. Hi, Team Mobster. So, anyway, I think I'm going to walk outside, take a look at the current amount of light. Winston's mom says in an hour or so it's going to be really actually dark. And I'll probably, after we take a nice walk, look at the stars for a while, see what we see. I suspect I'll be tired-ish, maybe ready for Brad again.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not especially lively today. Well, good, Roman Rollins. I don't know what to tell you. That sounds horrible. Very dark. It's not really. I don't really want to be burdened with the horribleness of the whole thing, frankly. So, I think we're going to call it a stream. And Rachel and I will wait for it to get dark, and then go walk around for a bit.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for being here. And don't forget to eat plenty of cheese. Have a great evening.